Hi guys, hope you're having a great day. Welcome to our channel. If this is your first time visiting, this is Hatfield McCoy Museum and Adventures. And sometimes we do FS Investigates. And
hello guys.
There's Fred.
Gonna be a short one.
Yeah, we're talking about the Daniel Penny trial. How they said the major charge was dismissed.
Well, and this is a video of four gentlemen. If you aren't subscribers of theirs, be sure and subscribe because these guys are outstanding. Mm-hmm. You'll see. Go ahead and play the video if you want.
Okay. Just a second here. It's going. Up here so you can see everything.
Good.
And yeah, it should be starting to play here. They're talking.
So to my understanding, right now in the courtroom, he's trying to figure out what to do next now that jurors can't reach that consensus on the first charge.
It's interesting. So there had been 8 notes that had come out so far as of this morning before the jury reconvened at 10 a.m. in Lower Manhattan. 2 were about scheduling, but they definitely seem, and please correct me if I'm wrong, seem to be looking into what was the judgment of the coroner about the cause of death, because that was evidence that was really pushed by the defense about, was it definitively the chokehold that caused the death versus what about the drugs that were in the system, what about pre-existing conditions like sickle cell disease.
Dagan, so jurors wanted to rehear portions of medical examiner Dr. Cynthia Harris's cross-examination when she talked about issuing a second death certificate for Neely. She testified during the trial that she issued that death certificate ruling Jordan Neely's death a chokehold without toxicology results. And she said during the trial that toxicology.
You know, I just caught something when she said a second death certificate. Did you hear that?
I did. I was going to ask you about that one.
I had never heard that. You know, we know that in the beginning they said that she had, in her first findings, she had put the cause of death unknown.
Right.
And then she saw a video of Daniel Penny restraining Jordan Neely, and she ruled it compression to the neck, homicide. But we didn't know. I didn't know she had filed 2 death certificates.
Wow. So that right there shows she's changed her mind.
She changed it, and she still, even with the second one, well, she did evidently, but you'd think that would have a bearing on the case, and it does, because the jury has now asked for her testimony again, where she stated that, you know, she ruled that before she waited on the toxicology test. Mm-hmm. And then she said, well, the toxicology, the defense was asking her about it. She said, well, it wouldn't matter if he had enough fentanyl in him to kill an elephant. Well, it would.
That's a lot of fentanyl.
It would definitely matter, because it means he was overdosed anyway, which we have a feeling that it was an overdose on K2 or whatever it was laced with.
Yeah.
But that's interesting that there was at least 2 deaths.
I think there were different things that contributed to Mr. Neely's passing.
Yeah.
And I do not think it was the restraint.
Yeah. I agree, Sheila. I think it was and we've discussed it, it was the K2, mm-hmm. It was the sickle cell, it was the Narcan. All 3 of these can contribute to a difficulty in breathing. So.
Yeah. Ready?
And that's what they're saying that he died from, was breathing. They're saying that it's contributed to Daniel Penny's so-called choke, mm-hmm. which is more of a restraint. But, let's blame it on that rather than the other 3, at least 3 things.
The other 3 components is I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Here we go.
toxicology results wouldn't have changed her mind, and she said that the results could have come back with fentanyl, and her decision was confirmed on the basis of what she saw in that widely circulated video showing Penny restraining Neely. So jurors were particularly interested in that portion of her cross-examination where she talked about issuing the cause of death without the toxicology results. And I've been talking to a lot of legal experts about this case, and they say this is particularly interesting because it appears like the jury may not be able to find causation from Penny's actions and Neely's death.
Wow.
Very interesting. CB, terrific work. We'll get back to you as this develops.
So hold on. So he died from fentanyl, pretty much.
No. No. You didn't hear it at all. The judge said they didn't do a toxicology report, so they don't know. They can't definitively say it was from the choke. So that's what the jury is saying. And the judge came back and said that even no matter what was in his system, even if it was fentanyl, she would still say that it was the chokehold that killed him.
I would also like to say when the police arrived, Neely, who got choked, was still alive, but they didn't give him out.
He was. Thank you for pointing that out.
HIV was a concern, so just let him die.
Dang.
Just let him die.
Know that.
Neely's family is trying to sue the city after they left him homeless, mentally ill, let him have 42 prior arrests and 2 arrests stemming from assaults of women on the...
He says that Neely's family suing the city. See, I'm under the understanding that they're suing Penny, but it could very well be the city too. The city would be seems like more liable than anybody. He should have been in jail or prison or mental hospital probably, but anywhere but out on the street.
The system let him down.
But at the same, and the criminal justice system let the public down by having him back out on the street, riding subways. But once again, I've said it in a past video, but the family that, they want to keep emphasizing that Neely was homeless. Well, he was homeless because he didn't have nobody to take him in, nobody to help him. And so make sure we point that out, that, it's funny that all his family and everybody's there for him now, but it don't matter now. He's deceased. And the people that the family has now filed suit against either Penny, the city, or both, and ever who it is, that would be in the estate of Jordan Neely. So all these people that has been struck over the years with these criminal charges where Neely has struck elderly women, attacked different people, pushed people in front of the subway over the track.
The little girl he tried to kidnap.
I hope that they realize that if the estate, if Jordan Neely's estate gets anything, they would be heir to that if they'll file the necessary, hire you an attorney. The attorney will do it on a contingency basis.
Okay.
And file a suit against Jordan Neely's estate. In case the family gets anything, then you can get damages for the assaults that he brought up on all these other innocent people. That it's only fair, I would think.
Yeah, makes sense. Ready?
Train, and now they're trying to act like their son is some sort of victim.
Well, money.
Based on his rap sheet and his history, it was liable that he could have harmed someone on the train, and he was making threats to kill people, saying, "I don't care if I go to jail.
Remember that.
I'm going to kill you."
Yeah, we reacted
so
to it.
and laughing.
Yeah.
That's how long ago that was.
Yeah, I
so
remember.
the fact that happened and y'all let him stay on the street, didn't get him no help, and now you're trying to exploit his death to get money and prop him up as some sort of victim is absurd.
The only thing I can say about that is, like, if he's on drugs, some people can't really help them.
But that wasn't the thing though. That wasn't the thing though.
No,
that wasn't the thing though. He wasn't on drugs. He had no arrests stemming to drugs. All his arrests were stemming to mental health and behavior issues.
No,
he was a
during that
tweaker.
period of time, he could have been on drugs.
Could have,
but that doesn't. Homeless. Yeah.
Could have. But as far, but based on what we know, he was homeless, mentally
ill, on drugs,
and a serial tweaker.
Because in the last case that he had, now there was felony warrants out on him the day that he passed.
Yeah.
For pushing a woman over onto the tracks of the sub. But up to that point there, the last case that he had for punching a 67-year-old woman, to the best of my knowledge or recollection, was that the judge had ordered him to drug treatment. He had blamed it on the drugs, and the judge had ordered him to drug treatment, and he skipped out on it. And yeah, he did have drug charges.
You gotta go.
And a serial tweaker.
Oh, let's see what
and his family didn't do nothing to step in and help him.
He wants some money. He got a Dolce Gabbana on.
There was no way you could put 9 white people in a room that would find Daniel Penny guilty.
I wouldn't have.
Right, right, wrong is wrong, guys.
White supremacist
That's not
jury
fair.
specialist to target the racists in that jury. The prosecution pointed out the fact that defense was eliminating people based on race. Let me take it back because I don't want to scare y'all. Logically thinking, if you pick a white supremacist jury specialist and you pack the jury with white people, obviously you think race has a significant role in this case. And
Jury selection, I think the first person that we ever heard that on was O.J. Simpson case back in 1990, when Robert Shapiro and that bunch had a specialist there to help pick or eliminate jurors for the O.J. Simpson case. So go ahead. He wants to talk about racist. I just want to talk. I want to throw that out there. That
How does he know this lady or this person is a white supremacist?
they're not. That you can say, you can make statements like that when you're like that. You can make statements and blame it on race, blame it on racism. Just point it in that direction. You can say anything you want to say.
That's not.
You can call people anything you want to call them. Under those pretenses.
obviously you were looking for that one white supremacist holdout. That one holdout. Might have been more, but there was definitely one.
Definitely one. We know there's definitely two. See, there's two.
Okay.
That's a hung jury. That should have been a mistrial.
Oh, yeah.
Not charges. One charge dismissed. Now let's go to the second one. Let's try to get a guilty on that. Should have been a mistrial. They overcharged to begin with. Alvin Bragg was thinking, hey, let's get this 15 if we can. But if we can't, we'll go for the 4. He's wanting any kind of conviction that he can get. There's two. There's one guilty and one not guilty. We don't know how the other 10 are. Mm-hmm. We don't. It may be 8 and 4. It may be 6 and 6. Who knows? It may be 11 and 1. Maybe that 1 is a holdout. Maybe there's 11 for guilty, and that 1 says not guilty. Maybe there's 11 for not guilty, and that 1 says guilty. Mm-hmm. I don't want this bunch out front here hollering and screaming. I don't want them coming after me and my family. So I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to hold to guilty because I'm afraid they'll retaliate against me. So we don't know. He's sitting there talking like it's a white supremacist that's holding everything up. This may be 11 people for not guilty, including those of color on that jury.
Right.
11 people for not guilty, but that one person in fear of their life or their family's life or threats.
Exactly.
May be holding out, not because of the evidence, but because of the retaliation that they might receive if they vote not guilty.
Some of the witnesses mentioned that of the retaliation of speaking and stuff.
Oh, they said they could hear
the one
them.
guy changed his.
The witness, yeah, he said, I was afraid that what they would do to my family.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned earlier about the hearing them outside.
Yeah, the reporter said they were so loud outside chanting that she just got left. She couldn't hear anything that was going on
Inside the courtroom.
inside.
Now, if she can hear it, so can the jury. How fair is that?
Yeah.
And is that intimidating? Heard the other day where they let a Black Lives Matter person. I don't know if that's him or not. I have a feeling that it is because up above there it says Black Lives Matter erupts after judge drops manslaughter. I don't know if that's him or representative of them or not.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Person in there that said, I'm not going to convict this white kid for killing that poor little mentally ill Negro piece of trash.
Now, how do you know they said
I'm
that?
proving a point. This is how they think.
You're not proving a point.
The defendant himself called Jordan a dirty crackhead.
Yeah.
And the police
Okay.
let him go.
And what would you think? A man gets on a subway, throws his coat off, starts hollering, "I'll kill you." He's strung out. He's talking out.
I'm willing to die. I'm willing to go to jail.
Cops, when they get there, the first thing they do is give him Narcan because they think he's overdosed, and he probably did, no doubt, with the K2 in his system. There's no way to quantify K2, how much he had. It just shows either it's there or it's not. And it showed present in his system. Was that K2 laced with rat poison? Was it laced with angel dust? Was it laced with fentanyl? What was it laced with? What was on that K2? So many questions that the toxicology could have helped answer, but the medical examiner had already ruled, oh, this is a homicide by choking, by throat compression. I don't want to look at anything else. I might be proven wrong. Sad. Lady Justice is supposed to be blind. She's not blind in this case. Not with the judge, not with the prosecution, and definitely not with Alvin Bragg. Sad.
It really is, guys, because he's a hero.
This is a mistrial. When they couldn't reach that verdict, this is a mistrial. You don't get a redeal that hand and keep dealing cards until finally you get the hand you're looking for.
Wow.
You don't get to keep saying, wait a minute, 2 out of 3, let's try this again. They overcharged with that first charge. It didn't work out. It should have been a mistrial. You don't get to say, hey, let's go now for the other charge. Let's see if we can get a conviction on that.
So,
Not right, guys.
So Monday, if it's declared a mistrial, then they'll go through this process all over again.
Yeah, they'll have another trial. If it goes, I'm hoping that by Monday, this judge, when are you going to run this? Tomorrow?
Yeah. Sunday.
I'm hoping by Monday this judge comes to his senses. Some of his friends, peers, get with him and says, Judge, this is it's obvious. It's obvious what's going on here. You can't load the justice system. You can't load the verdict. You can't load the jury. This is a mistrial. Hopefully when he comes in our Monday morning, he'll ask the jury again if they could reach a verdict on that. When they say no, instead of sending them back to the jury room to deliberate on that lesser charge, he will go ahead and say, we're going to declare a mistrial. This is a hung jury.
Okay.
And then it starts over again. If Alvin Bragg wants to retry the case later, he can. I doubt that he will because they say he's up for election. Some prosecutors just want advertisement, just want their name in the media. It don't matter, good or bad, as long as their name's in the media, they're getting attention. I love these 4 guys here.
These gentlemen here are awesome.
If you haven't subscribed to their channel, you may want to because they're very informative. They're very fair.
Yeah,
White, black, it don't matter to them. They're like Sheila and I. In fact, they get a little bit upset when it's called something that it's not. Go ahead, babe.
The police found inconsistencies in his story and allowed Daniel Penny to walk free.
That's incorrect.
The inconsistencies in his story. The police didn't charge. 10 days after they interviewed him, and he voluntarily, after being read his rights, agreed to talk to the police and tell them what happened. Nothing to hide. 10 days later, the police still hadn't charged him. He's saying inconsistent stories. It's easy to throw these remarks out. Inconsistent story. He said that Jordan Neely had a hammer. He said that he had a knife. He said that he had it, but he didn't have it. He's not telling us. He just says inconsistent stories. See, that's easy to speak in the history, but where's the evidence that he lied to the police? I haven't seen it.
I would say they didn't say that in his interrogation after they interrogated him.
The police didn't even charge Daniel Penny. It was the prosecutor's office, the way we understand it. Exactly. It was Alvin Bragg and his office that signed the warrant ultimately because the police wouldn't charge him. What's that? What happened there? We don't. Now the police is corrupt. Now the police are racist. We got some racism. We got some racism here, guys. It's from Alvin Bragg. It's from Alvin Bragg and his office and people like this. That's racism right there. let's look at the facts and forget about the colors. If it was the other way around, I'd be calling it the same way. If Daniel Penny was black and Neely was white, just like them 4 gentlemen there in the back. Right, here's 2 that would be calling it the same way and saying, hey, I don't blame him for doing that.
Yep. Right's right, wrong is wrong. Plain and simple.
When does that happen for black people? Am I not making my point clear enough? Racism has its tentacles.
So,
Yeah, I
brother,
want to hear
I'm gonna
about
keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100.
So hold on though. If Daniel Penny was black, would he have got off of that?
I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yes.
If we on the train,
I think I would've got
listen.
off with
If we was in LA and it was homeless people tweaking by us, I told Taj if they get too close, I'm zipping one of their ass.
You wouldn't be wrong.
I told when we was in when I was in Oklahoma City, there was a homeless person tweaking. He got close to me and my homies. They looked at me and said, "Are we about to have to beat his ass right now?" I
That
said,
happens.
"Shit." If it happened, so if a homeless person come up on me tweaking, saying I'm finna kill you, I'm whooping your ass.
I don't even- I'm gonna give it
Did the
100.
dude have a knife on the plane on the ride again?
I don't
Oh,
know.
it's tripping.
I don't know, but I remember he was like, I'm
ready to die right now.
Yeah, he said, "I'll kill y'all. I don't care about going to jail. I'll die right now."
Yeah.
What? What? You threatening to kill who? Cause who? You come up on me with that shit, I'm whipping your ass.
Buddy.
You take it to court. Yeah, he was homeless and a victim. Yeah, he was a victim of these hands. His ass was tweaking.
I can't
You didn't
believe
come up on me tweaking.
this was even brought up in New
That's what I'm
York. I mean, I
saying, bro.
understand that, you know, somebody died, but like,
No, it's sad that he died, but
no,
I
it's
mean,
terrible.
hey, bro.
He didn't deserve to
Yeah.
die, but he put himself in harm's way. You cannot,
But don't
you
sit here
cannot
and
go
call
around
racism.
making threats and putting yourself in harm's way and have a rap sheet of being a threat to people on the train and then paint yourself as a victim.
This is his
Sorry,
dad?
that doesn't work that way.
This is the person's dad.
I don't know who this is.
Somebody of his kin. If someone has a history of assaulting people on the train, but you don't need to know that. You don't even know that. You don't even know that.
See, they didn't know that at all.
Your life, and all you're doing is sitting there. You're supposed to just sit there and let him threaten you.
Delusion.
I'm sorry, I'm not doing
1
that.
minute. They said it was 1 minute.
Black Lives Matter. Delusion.
When does that happen for black people?
I think he was a Marine.
Am I not making my point clear enough? Racism has its tentacles all over this case. Racism has its evil
Yes, it does.
tentacles all
Yes, it
over
does.
its case,
We would agree.
all around the minds of white America.
Through Alvin Bragg.
Are all white people bad? No. The prosecution did a phenomenal job. The judge is trying his hardest to bring justice
Not to convict
Jordan Neely's
an innocent
name.
man, a hero.
But racism is still alive and kicking
Yes, it
in
is.
America.
Yes,
There's
it
no
is.
other way to view this.
And we're looking at it.
Everyone has looked at the case. And those among you who say that Daniel Penny is innocent
He's
Innocent.
innocent.
have racism and bias in your heart.
So I do.
No, I don't.
Unless that was your mother on that train.
Case, then
No,
you understand.
Yeah, pause it.
That is so wrong.
Wouldn't it be something if that was his mother on there? I wonder if he'd still be feeling like that.
I don't agree with that.
If Neely got on there acting like he did, and this gentleman's mother happened, or his daughter happened to be on that bus,
Yeah.
that subway, I wonder how he'd feel about Daniel Penny then. See, sometimes we don't put ourselves in those positions.
Well, one of the witnesses, who was a woman of color, said that Mr. Penny didn't do anything wrong, that she thought, she was afraid for her life, thought she was going to die. She said he had him, she said, in the chokehold,
Yeah.
was her words. She said, but he was not hurting
Pressure,
him.
yeah. How about the black guy that was calling 911? That said the same thing. Said it was under control. Said when he got a hold of him, he felt relaxed.
Exactly.
Once Penny got a hold of him in a restraint, that he felt relaxed. He was calling 911, telling them what was going on. But that when Neely got on there, it scared him.
Yeah. And Penny said that he wasn't trying to hurt Mr. Neely. He said he was trying to protect Mr. Neely from hurting himself and from hurting others.
And him. Go ahead. Good job. You're right.
Stand that Daniel Penny is guilty.
Wow.
Today, white supremacy got another victory.
Wow.
Today, the KKK, the Klansmen, the evil in America got another victory.
Can you pause this?
They got that top charge
This is crazy,
dismissed.
Yeah,
America.
I'm done with this.
Stop it.
Okay, why?
What about the Black Panthers? You know, he wants to talk about all these racist groups, but he doesn't bring up the Black Panthers. Guys, there's good and bad in everything. We don't condone none of the other organizations he named. But if you're not a racist, name them all. Put them all out there as racist groups. Go ahead, Mo.
It's just so publicized, and we real life. I'm gonna keep saying this, bro. Everybody can get mad at me for saying this, but we real life got people killing each other on the streets right now and making songs about it and getting more profit. And this is what people is worried about.
You want to know why, brother?
America's racist, and we're at the highest rate of killing and wiping out a whole race.
Do you want to know why, brother?
You really are.
Because the victim was black and the one that did it to him was white. That's why. Yeah. That's why they're trying to spin this as some racial division and racism narrative. I'm sorry, as a black person, if his black tweaking ass came up on me, tweaking, threatening me, I'm beating his ass.
They were hiding when you had this.
Why they were black?
Imagine you got family on there. You got like kids on there.
It was. He had to do what he had to do.
Oh yeah, man.
Bro, that's why it's crazy that this even was like a thing.
This what happened in Texas.
He was feared for his.
Even heard about this.
He was feared for exactly. No, exactly. He was feared for his life, even going to jail, guys. Like this is crazy that he was in the right and he almost went to jail behind this.
It's just interesting that they just trying to spin it like he's some sort of like white supremacist. Hey. Like we gotta keep it 100. Like this dude was literally tweaking. I'm sorry. The homeless people that are walking around tweaking are a threat.
This only
they concern me. So if I'm in the vicinity of a homeless person that's tweaking, I'm already on guard. I'm on my toes. If they give me a reason to jump, I'm already feeling froggy. I'm sorry. Don't do that.
Marine junkie. If this is only what happened in the liberal city.
The judge
a Marine or a junkie?
Count one, the manslaughter charge against Marine veteran Daniel Penny. Let's go to correspondent CB Cotton.
I know what I was going to say a while ago when the big fellow was on there talking. He was talking about the case had been dismissed. He was upset because the judge, white supremacist, had done throughout the first charge. Well, he threw out the first charge because there was no verdict on it. They couldn't reach a verdict. Threw out the first charge because it was overkill. They'd overcharged. They overcharged Alvin Bragg shooting for the moon, wanting to get this big charge instead of going for something that might have been more logical. So that's what you call overkill. Now when it's overkill and you didn't get what you wanted there, now the judge has said, hey, all right, let's dismiss that and let's go for the lesser charge of the two. Well, no. If the jury couldn't reach a verdict, the jury couldn't reach a verdict. Both of those charges were there. If you wanted to charge with the manslaughter, if you wanted to charge with the negligent homicide, they're there. But don't not reach a verdict and then dismiss the one and say, okay, let's try this. Maybe they'll go for this. Guys, it's illegal. It's wrong. It's injustice. It's not right.
Let's hope when it comes up on Monday that
they correct it.
Yeah.
Let's hope they correct it.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be an appeal. I know it's probably going to be thrown out, even if there is a conviction. But who wants that? Who wants to go through the next 3 or 4 years fighting appeals and stuff just to prove that you're innocent? This man's a hero.
And guys, if he's found guilty, nobody else will step up. I've said it before. Nobody will step up and help.
Well, we're going to do a video after this one, and that will be our last.
Right.
That will be our last, but we're going to do one more video. We want to show you what happens when nobody steps up. We got 2 or 3 videos of subway incidents, and look and see what happens when nobody steps up because they're afraid that something will happen. Shucks, look at last week. Man went through there and killed 3 people with 2 butcher knives.
Yep.
Nobody stepped up. They followed him around where they could show the police where he was going while he was still stabbing other people. Go ahead.
Reporting live from the courthouse in New York City and find out what else this means and what we can learn from it. CB, what can you tell us?
Hi, Martha. What a day here at the courthouse, right? So, yes, the judge has dismissed that first count, the most serious charge, second-degree manslaughter. And he told jurors just moments ago that he said, quote, what that means is you are now free to consider count 2. Whether that makes any difference, I have no idea. And then he's sending jurors home for the weekend and telling them they'll come back to deliberate the lesser charge, criminally negligent homicide, on Monday. So the trial is not yet done, but the latest here from the courthouse is that the judge has dismissed the most serious charge, second-degree manslaughter, and now jurors will come back on Monday to deliberate the second charge, criminally negligent homicide. As you were talking about before the break, Martha, there was some back and forth, particularly from the defense, who had some concerns on whether jurors should be allowed to deliberate the lesser charge. Defense attorney Thomas Kenneth telling the judge he thought it might be coercive to jurors. It appears like he's trying to get all of this on record, all of this in the court record to possibly perhaps bring up an appeal in the future. But for now, this trial is not yet done, and Penny's fate is still not decided by the jurors here at the courthouse. So I'm going to send things back over to you.
All right, so he heads into the weekend not knowing if if all of this is resolved. Obviously, for him, even though that first count is gone, and everybody heard Andy McCarthy say that he always believed that that was a coercive move by DA Alvin Bragg, to give the jury a second option in this case. And we will continue to follow it. CB, thank you very much.
Wait, what was the second count again? What'd you say?
Criminally negligent homicide.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Just probably
Another form
You
of
know how they just put all charges in different ways.
It's probably some sort of manslaughter charge.
Yeah, well, I think he's basically off though, man.
No, hell no.
They just said
hell
nah.
no, he ain't off. They can't decide. They dismiss one charge, another charge.
It's a smaller charge though. So
Well, if it's smaller than manslaughter, it shouldn't be a super heavy charge because manslaughter only, I think, carries a maximum of like 5 or 6 years.
yeah.
It looks good for him.
No, I
He's
definitely think it
24.
does.
He's only 24.
So can
years
they
old.
come back and dismiss this charge?
So hold on. So like,
Find him
because
guilty?
it's New York, it don't be considered.
Yeah, they can find him not
self-defense
guilty,
or
but they're
year-round.
not.
Yes.
More, yeah.
Yes.
That would happen down here.
They're not going to find him not guilty.
Okay, why not? I mean, I'm just,
Okay, I'm not a lawyer.
okay, neither am I, as you can tell.
They had him charged with manslaughter, the bigger charge of the two.
Okay,
And there's a person there that is holding
Now,
the guilty. At
Okay.
least one person is
Okay.
wanting them guilty of the bigger charge. That person says that he was guilty of manslaughter, at least one person, one juror. So if they're holding the jury up, hanging the jury on wanting a guilty plea on the manslaughter charge, which was 15 to 19 years, and now they're coming up with a smaller charge of 4 years or whatever, a lesser requires less evidence, less I can't think of the word, I'm getting old, but are they going to have a problem staying with guilty on the lesser charge when they was holding them guilty on the higher charge? So that person, that at least that one person that was holding out for guilty up there on the big charge is definitely going to be holding out for guilty down here on the less charge. So it's still either going to be a hung jury or it's going to be a guilty. But that person is not going to switch over to a not guilty to a lesser charge when he was actually finding them guilty on a bigger charge.
Wow.
At least that's my
okay, thanks for explaining that.
Well, I don't know if
There might be other people out there like me that's like,
Well, I don't know if I'm the best one to explain it, but
you did great. Let's listen to what they're saying here now.
already finishing up.
Yes.
We wouldn't have heard about this. It'd have been a one-day trial out of there.
It's interesting that his family is on TV crying. They failed him in every way.
It's sad.
The
Now they
system,
upset. You failed.
everybody did.
I've seen a lot of people talking about this.
Failed
What
himself,
happened with this guy?
He failed himself.
Yeah.
But that just
Jordan Williams
Stabbed and
stabbed.
killed a homeless man to stop him from attacking people.
on his train in New York, same thing.
Wow, I never heard about that.
Yeah,
maybe-
he had a weapon.
I know.
He stabbed the homeless person.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah, they don't bring that one up.
they don't say nothing about that.
What's his name?
Go back.
Jordan
Zero.
Williams.
Yeah, charges got dropped. That's crazy.
Why did the charges get dropped on
Zero
him?
down. Charges
Let me
dropped.
guess, it was another black crackhead.
What had nothing to do with
If it was another
racism,
black
was
dude, I
it?
won't be surprised.
Type New York.
That's sad.
Man, this country, man.
Like,
Yeah.
what are we supposed to?
Guys, subscribe to these four fellas here.
Like, I just wanted to
I'm
be
trying to
fair from
put a
all sides.
link or something.
Yeah.
They are, yeah.
It's the same, basically the
In the
same
comments,
thing.
I'll put a link.
He got charged with the same thing. But he got charged with criminal possession of a weapon too.
Yeah, guys. I mean, I think it looks
he
good
killed.
for him.
He did it. He killed like I think it was like
Illegal.
Yeah, the person then was the Victor.
Oh yeah, a lot of the stories are like that. These illegals, man. Hey man, I think it looks good for him though, guys. The most important charge got dropped. I mean, hey, we're gonna know Monday. I think it looks good for him though.
Yeah, it looks like the exact same situation.
Hold to your guns, juror. Ever which juror
The trial to this, and we were in New York.
is holding out for not
thinking,
guilty,
like,
hang
New
on.
York, yeah, like this could happen
Please.
here. You gotta be ready to fight in New York.
Boy, you gotta be ready for anything to pop off. You cannot be sweet.
And he basically tried to protect the people that were on that train. So you can't even protect and serve.
They got kids riding the train to school by themselves out there all the time.
Man. That's weird. All right, guys, let's know what y'all think about this though.
Okay, yeah. This is sad. I don't think he should have been charged.
Guys, at the bottom of Sheila's page, if you'll scroll down to Hatfield McCoy Museum page, you'll see channels subscribe to down there, and their channel is there.
I'll try to put a link in the comments below. I'll add their channel because
Because those guys
they
are excellent. And
they're amazing.
I watched a couple other videos since this one, and they are
gentlemen.
Good guys. Black,
Good
white,
player.
don't matter. See, again, Sheila and I don't look at color, and those guys don't look at color. They call it like they see it.
Yep.
You're up, babe.
Okay, guys. We hope that everybody is nice and warm and doing well. God bless you all. Thank you all for tuning in. We couldn't do it without you all. You are an amazing group of people. We appreciate each and every one of you. God bless and have a great evening.
Thank you, guys.